I've decided to do something new in 2026. Okay. My business model is I allow you as my supporters to dictate what music I react to. So, hence my hierarchy model. Okay, so VVIPs always get prioritized. Their requests get in much faster, basically immediately. They bonus requests especially, but then their requests will be reacted to prior to VIPs, for instance, and the rest of the Patreons. And then do we get to everyone who sits on or who just pushes reaction requests to buy me a coffee? Okay. So I react to the music that you want me to react to. For 2026, I'm not changing the model. Don't worry. I like that you guys decide what we listen to. What I'm going to do is every week I'm going to sponsor a song that I want to listen to. Okay. So I obviously have a very certain style of music. Well, I listen to quite a bit of different kinds of music. However, there is a few genres that we don't seem to be touching on lately, and that is very much the music that I listen to that I sometimes need in my life. So for instance, for the last 8 months have put off a song. I haven't even listened to it from Falling in Reverse because I really want to react to it, but no one is requesting it. Okay, so I am a little obsessed with Falling in Reverse and Ronnie Radke. And so I decided, you know what, the only way I'm going to be able to get to listen to this music, unless someone requests it, is if I sponsor it. So that's what I'm going to do. Once a week, I'm going to chuck a song in that either comes off my playlists, but I don't watch music videos ever. It's not something I do in my free time. So there's so many songs that I listen to, but I've never seen the video. And apparently I have my brother's reference. He would tell me like, listen, the music video makes the song even more epic than what it already is. Or it has a completely different message than what the song has, or whatever the case might be. So we're going to do exactly that in this reaction. There is a song that I've been listening to that has gotten me through really desperate times. It's how I process my emotion. So you guys know I'm a metalhead. I use metal and very hard rock music to process my emotions, process my thoughts, process my experiences, because I really struggle to do that when there's silence. Okay, when there's silence, I overthink. I don't process. Which is very odd. It is incredibly odd. I don't know how to explain it. All I know is the music speaks to me. Okay. I tend to listen to people who have real life experiences, who has lived what I have lived. Because somehow in my subconscious or my consciousness, I realize, but we're connected, even if it is just in experience. And that in itself means I'm not alone. I'm not the only one who has lived this, who has experienced this. And that somewhat gives you, a little bit of hope and oomph to just get through another day, even when things are the worst than what it possibly can be. And so I already want to give you guys a disclaimer for this song, because the song in itself is incredibly difficult and hard. And it rips me to shreds when I'm in a bad space, which I'm kind of at the moment. You see, I haven't even listened to the song yet. Any case, maybe this was actually a bad time. But I figured I would share this experience with you guys. And my brother said, and Art, actually, I spoke to Art about it because I mentioned Five Finger Death Punch the other day in one of my reactions, just that, oh man, we need to react to them because no one has been freaking requesting them. And then Art mentioned this song, and I'm like, no, bro, I know this song way too well. It's written on the tables of my heart. I know it that well. It's one of the favorites in my household. Both my brother and I are obsessed. So my brother said, "Listen, you need to watch the video. It's makes the song in itself is legendary. It's epic. It performs miracles. For the Christians out there, you guys use God and Jesus and whatever to perform miracles. I use music. Okay, music saves my life. Okay, this song definitely did the same thing, and so I'm going to, for the very first time, watch the music video. So the one that I pulled up here has 424 million views. That should say something. And 2.7 million likes. Okay. This headset is really irritating my skin today. My skin is sensitive. Anyways. Oh, I needed to give you guys a disclaimer. It's rough, I think. Okay, so it's all I'm gonna say. I don't know what's in the video, obviously. It's gonna be a surprise to me. But based on the lyrics of the song, I'm gonna say it's rough. Be prepared. Embrace yourselves. I know it's tacky, but toilet paper. I don't do tissues or Kleenex or whatever the Americans call it. I don't give a crap. You don't want to look at my runny nose, so the closest thing I have is toilet paper. Maybe get yourself a roll, or get your Kleenex, or get your napkins or whatever it is. And then if you have stuff that you need to deal with, if you don't know how to process it, maybe this is the song for you. Maybe this is something new that you can explore. But yeah, I think that's basically what I can say at this point. So let's go.
What's up, all you amazing warriors and shield maidens? Welcome back to the Braveheart Viking tribe, where we keep things real, we tell the truth without the sugarcoating, and we're Viking after all, so we keep our honor and integrity intact. Don't forget to like and subscribe to all my channels and to support me on the multitude of platforms where you can actually do that. So if you are ready to get this going, raise those horns and skull.
Oh, for those of you who don't know, Five Finger Death Punch is a band of military men and ex-veterans. So they raise millions for veterans on the streets every year. Oh, look. No, 1.5 million.
just like me. What have I done? And who have I become? I saw the devil today, and he looked a lot like me. I looked away, I turned away. Arms wide open, I stand alone. I'm no hero, and I'm not made of stone. Right or wrong, I can hardly tell. I'm on the wrong side of heaven and the righteous side of hell. The wrong side of heaven and the righteous side of hell.
And they relive all of this over and over again.
I'm not defending, downward descending, falling further and further away, getting closer every day. I'm getting closer every day
Wow.
to the end, the end. I'm getting closer every day. Arms wide open, I stand alone. I'm no hero, and I'm not made of stone. Right or wrong, I can hardly tell. I'm on the wrong side of
They were brothers, and he doesn't even recognize it.
righteous side of hell, wrong side of heaven, and the righteous side of hell. The wrong side of heaven and the righteous side of hell.
Mhm. And you know what they do? They go and fight the wars of pansy politicians, evil, wealthy men who doesn't even have the balls to hold a gun themselves. But our men, our children, our fathers, our brothers, and granddads, they all go fight a fight that is not theirs to fight. You guys, if you know of anyone, any soldier, any veteran, if you don't even have to know them, if you see them on the streets, get them help. They lost their families, they lost their brothers, they lost their purpose, they lost themselves. To fight a fight that is not theirs, but still they managed to keep us safe. They managed to keep us protected. Do you guys want me to read the lyrics for you? Obviously, this is not everyone's style of music. Um, Here we go. Let's see. See if Genius is up. Yeah. So the song in itself can pretty much it's very relatable to just about anyone. But the music video makes it clear cut for who this was meant. So I spoke to God today, and she said that she's ashamed. So I never knew why they chose to make the God a she. Because I'm quite curious, because they wrote God with the capital G, but then, she. Obviously, Christians who write God with a capital G don't believe it's a she. Any case, I don't ponder. It piques my curiosity for like a few split seconds, and then I'm like, nah, moving on. I don't care. Um, I mean, in my belief system, I guess there's so many female gods and goddesses, well, goddesses. So again, I don't care. What have I become? What have I done? I spoke to the devil today, and he swears he's not to blame. And I understood, because I feel the same. So let this sink in for a second. The speaker has a conversation with both God and the devil, right? The devil claims he's not to blame for what he has become, for what the speaker has become, and what the speaker has done. The speaker agrees with the devil. Then the speaker first spoke to God, and she says she is ashamed. So now my question is she ashamed of the speaker, what the speaker has become, what the speaker has done, or is the God ashamed of what the God has become and what the God has done? Because the God is what allows all of this to happen, right? For those who believe in gods. Arms wide open. And before you judge, before you want to preach and throw the Bible at me, or any freaking religion at me, put yourself in the shoes of this soldier, of this veteran. Put yourself in the shoes of a child who has been molested and raped and abused and told she or he is seeking attention. No one came to their saving. Tell me, tell to a parent who had to lose their child to abduction, who got raped and mutilated, and the body got found in a river. Tell to that parent, God takes care of you and God cares for you. You can't say that with a straight face. Anyways, moving on. We all need to believe in something. We all have belief systems. Whatever it is that you believe in, whatever is it that gets you to the next day, that is fine. That's fine. I've actually been reading a lot on very old philosophical oh gosh, I can't. It's tongue twister. It's too late. I'm very emotional tonight. Um, philosophical. You know, I'm not gonna get that out now. Sciencey books and articles and studies that the fact, some people call it prayer, some people call it affirmations. Some people call it chanting. Some people call it repetition of positive sayings, which again is like affirmations. It's the science. It's not who you pray to or speak to or chant to. It's the fact that you verbalize the positive, the impact, the manifestations. That is what really activates the power of the universe. Okay, that is what makes things happen. That's what makes miracles happen. That's what, Christians believe there's power in the word, there's power in the tongue, there's life in the tongue. The Bible preaches it. What do you guys think it translates to? Don't speak death. What do you think prayer is? Prayer is chanting. Prayer is affirmations, repeating the same positive thing. I will be healed. I will be healed. Believing it, acknowledging it. Same things the Bible teaches. It's just the Bible teaches you that you pray to a God, whereas spiritual people, for instance, will, or even the monks, they pray to the universe. They chant to the universe because the universe is a consciousness. And the power within, the God within. Again, Christianity as well as spiritual people. Do you know that? Anyways, I'm completely getting sidetracked, but I want you guys to just think about what the speaker is going through here and what exactly he's saying, because he was raised in a certain way to believe certain things. However, he is in turmoil, and they use heaven and hell and God and devil for a reason. Because we are taught that God is there for you, God is present, God is, actively taking care of you, and sending you through challenges and tribulations for a reason. Okay, I know that much. I don't believe it, Nick. I don't. But put yourself in the speaker's shoes. Arms wide open. I stand alone. I'm no hero. And I'm not made of stone. Right or wrong, I can hardly tell. So you are first of all, arms wide open, which suggests a position of either seeking comfort or offering comfort. Okay? Followed by, I stand alone. I'm no hero. Even though he very well is. Okay, so he's past the point of even believing that he is the hero, that he has done far beyond what anyone should have ever asked of him, and what anyone should have done. And I'm not made of stone. He's going to feel, after seeing war, after living through war, after having to take lives, young or old, civilian or not, after losing your brothers, after carrying your brothers to safety, thinking that you're saving them, just for them to die in your arms or on the way to safety, or you even get shot and you lose limbs, to go on missions that your family's not even allowed to know of. They don't even know where you go. They don't even know what position you hold in whatever organization that you are. You're alone. You're all alone. But you're not made of stone. So there is going to be a ripple effect. There's going to be scars. There's going to be memories that the body has stored. Now, you guys all are, listen, by the way, pardon all of this mess. I don't know. I think maybe to my point that's about to come. I wanted to say the body stores trauma, the muscles store trauma. Even when you think in your mind everything's fine, you've dealt with it, you've processed it, whatever. No. So our entire being is one. Okay, so we have components, but at the end of the day, mind, body, spirit is one. So the mind thinks it healed, but the mind wasn't the only one who experienced the trauma, the death, the loss, the rejection, the loneliness of, I have changed and I don't know how to cope, or I feel left behind. So the body stores that, the soul, the spirit stores that. The mind stores it, it doesn't go away. And that's why we get PTSD. So PTSD, again, I'm not a psychologist, so I don't 100% understand the science behind it, apart from the fact that in my brain, I have my own kind of PTSD, childhood PTSD, which I've never processed, hence the Pandora box. But it manifests physically. As you can see today, I haven't dealt with my last month of trauma, or last 2 months. So then my body's like, okay, if you don't want to process, we're going to force you to process, you know? So your body starts acting out. PTSD for veterans is trauma stored in every component of their being. So their mind, they keep having nightmares, they keep having sometimes as bad as hallucinations. I mean, to this day, we have a rule in this family. You don't walk in by the bedroom of any one of the men. You just don't. You don't approach them when they're sleeping, even on the couch. It's for your safety and for theirs, because they could be perfectly fine during the day, but when they are sleeping, they enter a certain state that takes them back to the war zones. It takes them back to those very lonely and dark missions. So they don't know that the person touching them to wake them up is actually doing that with the utmost love, or it's an innocent child, or it's the dog coming to say hello. All they know is they wake up in survival mode, fight or flight. So they react, and when that reaction is not welcomed by the rest of the family, or someone gets hurt or scared or whatever, that's when divorce happens. That's when the man gets left behind, or the woman in this case, if it was a female soldier. They lose their families, because now all of a sudden dad has changed or mom has changed, and it's not the same anymore. Like, there's a puzzle piece that's a bit broken now and it doesn't quite fit in. So what's the easiest thing to do? Push them aside. And what does this poor broken puzzle piece do? Because this puzzle piece is what completed the puzzle. But now all of a sudden it's told that it can't serve its purpose anymore, or it doesn't fit in the puzzle anymore, regardless of that being true or not. So the piece gets discarded. And the only purpose of that puzzle piece was to be a loving father to children, a loving husband to the wife, and a soldier, a protector of a country. And what do we as humans do when we do not have purpose? We stop living. It's in our nature to have purpose, which makes me believe that there's a far deeper meaning behind purpose than just we got the instruction to find our purpose and to live it. It is the recipe for a successful, happy, content life. Purpose. We want to feel needed. We need to feel needed. We need to feel we're making a difference, an actual difference, not a superficial difference. So, this puzzle piece that lost its purpose, got discarded, is all alone. Now what? It doesn't know how to deal with the loss and the tormenting nightmares and cold sweats, the reaction to loud noises, sudden bashes, the door slamming because of the wind, or the dog jumping something off the counter that sounds like a gunshot or a bomb going off, or the clock, old antique clock on the wall that suddenly ding, ding, ding. It takes them maybe back to a region where they had to protect and fight. And then there was a clock. Who knows? Everyone triggers differently. But instead of getting help and a thank you, they're chucked to the side. Instead of being protected after they spend their lives protecting, they end up on the streets, lost, in pain, cold and sick. And they just they don't ever get to feel complete again. They don't ever get to complete a puzzle again. To be part of someone's puzzle. So I'm not made of stone. Right or wrong, I can hardly tell. I'm on the wrong side of heaven and the righteous side of hell. In my mind, what this is saying, if I look at the rest of the context of the song and how it's worded, I might be wrong. I mean, we'll check later on if they explain this. But considering what they've been through, considering the questions that they asked, or the speaker, to be on the wrong side of heaven, so technically based on their righteous lives as a soldier, they should be in heaven, right? However, they end up on the wrong side of heaven, which is the righteous side of hell. So then their lives are hell. Yet it's more the righteous side of hell because they still did the right thing. They still did the righteous thing, the honorable thing. But instead of having a good, peaceful life and thank you and peaceful death, they end up on the wrong side. And again, like you guys saw in the video, a lot of these soldiers commit suicide. 500 soldiers lose their lives every year, which is 1 every 2 hours, I think I saw. And again, according to the Bible, if you commit suicide, you'll never be saved. So do you want to tell me someone who spent their lives protecting people, countries, because they were kicked to the curb and they take their own lives to end their hell? Do you want to tell me they're not going to go to heaven? Can you see the resentment in this song? Can you see the resentment that the world has towards a religion that is so judgmental? How are these soldiers meant to feel? How are veterans meant to feel? What do you guys say about the fact that they have to take lives in war? Okay, let's continue. I heard from God today, and she sounded just like me. So now it seems like God is reflecting, what have I done and who have I become? So is God owning up now? I saw the devil today, and he looked a lot like me. I looked away. I turned away. Now this is a scary part, because this can be taken in the sense of the speaker sees himself in such a bad light, because earlier he said he's no hero, right? And now he's saying the devil looks like him, or looks a lot like him. So I looked away and I turned away. Do you not compare yourself to the devil because of how you have changed? Arms wide open, I stand alone. I'm no hero and I'm not made of stone. Right or wrong, I can hardly tell. I'm on the wrong side of heaven and the righteous side of hell. The wrong side of heaven and the righteous side of hell. I'm not defending, downward, descending. Falling further and further away, getting closer every day. I'm getting closer every day to the end. To the end, the end, the end. I'm getting closer every day. Arms wide open, I stand alone. I'm no hero. And I'm not made of stone. Right or wrong, I can hardly tell. I'm on the wrong side of heaven and the righteous side of hell. The wrong side of heaven and the righteous side of hell. Let's read. Okay. Wrong side of heaven is about the downward spiral that many ex-soldiers suffer after going to war. The official video depicts the mental anguish they suffer at the hands of PTSD and how this results in many of them being homeless and hopeless. The song has a heavy and somber tone which helps convey the negative emotions and mental disarray that these ex-soldiers are confronted with. In this track-by-track guide, Ivan Moody and Jeremy Spencer discussed Wrong Side of Heaven. Jeremy, Already Man, the next song is the title track. Alright Man, Already Man. Ivan, Wrong Side of Heaven, or Righteous Side of Hell. I love it, man. We were actually in the studio, all of us were actually sitting there discussing the song title and just how deep it was. And it just came about being that, that ended up being the title of the album. even after the song was already done. So the song, it's fantastic, man. It touches base on everything from religious to sour politics. Jeremy, well, it's not exactly freaking death metal song, now is it? Actually, one of my favorites on the record too, man. It's got a different vibe. We kind of experimented with some different sounds, certainly some different drum grooves and stuff on this one. It's just different for us. It's refreshing, a refreshing change. It's a welcome change in our sound, Ivan. Yeah, most definitely. Like I said, this is probably one of the most rounded records we've ever done, for sure. And this song definitely exposes that. So I think the politics, which I didn't even pick up on, but I suppose it's quite clear, is the relationship between the devil and the God. So I'm not entirely sure if it is because the devil didn't take any responsibility for this. However, we know that politicians, like I said in the beginning, it's their fight, we go and fight. But they don't take responsibility. They wipe everything under the rug. They throw money at it. They throw propaganda at it. And even the God in the beginning was ashamed. It seems ashamed of the speaker. And then later on, it seems the God was actually ashamed of who they became. So not taking a stance when they needed to. I don't know. So based on what we've read now, that's kind of where I see the politics lie. Maybe even the freaking title. So I saw it in a very different light, but I'm to be on the wrong side of heaven and the righteous side of hell. So sometimes, well, if I look at current politics, guys, if you want to do the right thing and get stuff done and protect and clean up and almost disinfect the world, you're pretty much on the righteous side of hell. You pretty much become hell. Whereas to be on the wrong side of heaven is the hypocritical side of things where, oh no, we're so holy, or oh no, we're so great, oh, we are just peaceful, and we don't want this, and we just want to love everyone, we just want to tolerate everyone, we just want to accept everyone and be all inclusive. And you know what I'm talking about. You're on the wrong side of that. And that's why I'm more than happy to be on the righteous side of hell, I suppose. Yeah, this was actually, again, I kind of now knew, I kind of wish I knew in the beginning that there's actually a political tie to this as well, because then maybe I would have picked it up. But this is freaking awesome. This is, yeah, this is personal, guys. I think that's why the song has always hit so hard. So for you who do not know, well, I think I've mentioned this before. That my own father, we didn't know. However, it came out, yet cannot be verified. I have to add, we have not been able to verify this, but my father was in the intelligence unit, and he too got discarded when he snapped. So that would explain my entire childhood. That would explain why we had to run away for our lives, and why society is not for him. So by the time he did get evaluated when he was still with us, he was diagnosed as a psychopath, with what? With schizophrenic tendencies. But now we don't know if what was said is true and he broke during his service, um, his IQ is through the roof, which would explain my brother's IQ. So it makes sense. A lot of what he now said makes sense. A lot of his PTSD, because we never knew why he had PTSD. We didn't know he served. So a lot of things add up now, and I have no idea where he is in the world. But he is a dangerous man. I don't know what he had to do. I don't know who he was. I just know who he is now. Well, at least who he was when I lived with him. Yeah, maybe if I knew this about him, maybe I definitely wouldn't have turned away from him the way that I did. I would have tried to get him help. But the problem is, in our country, there is no help. There's no help for veterans. If you can't afford to pay for psychiatric treatment, you're lost. You're lost. So my dad is lost somewhere, and this song is pretty much for him too. The only difference is he is so broken. I don't know. Maybe if he got help, maybe if he got help, he could have returned to society, you know. But he didn't, and he was left in society, which is dangerous. Yeah. I mean, I survived everything he put me through. I'm fine. So I say. But no, I mean, what he did had significant impact on my life. Yes, sure. Put me years behind. Yes, sure. But there's others who, I mean, I view relationships very different because of him. Yes, sure. Our household didn't have a stable father. It had an impact. Yes. But what he did after we left had far greater impact on some of the people around him. And for that, I wish I could help, apologize, get him help. But one, I don't know where he is. He's always lived under the radar his entire life, which again, it explains things. And two, I can't exactly get him help in a country that doesn't offer help. That's the balls up. He doesn't even admit that anything's wrong. He doesn't know that anything's wrong. He's that far gone. He thinks he's perfectly fine. Well, that's the last time. I haven't seen my dad in... I'm now 35, no? Turning 36. It's been 25 years. 25 years since I've seen my dad. Anyways, guys, please, as the song not suggested but instructed, They gave a long list of phone numbers and helplines and emails, and these places where you can donate to help support. Although I do believe the Americans, at least, I believe the US Army is going to be taken care of far better now, at least for the next few years. But I mean, the damage has been done. So we will see what is to come. Unfortunately, US soldiers are so great and so strong that they end up still to this day fighting other countries' fights to help maintain the peace or to help stop wars that's again not their own. So it seems it's never ending. And I'm terribly, terribly sorry for every single soldier who got left behind or returned home and you felt like a stranger in your own home, or who returned home and you felt like your family is not safe around you. I'm sorry. I'm grateful for what you've done. Whether or not you have fought for my country doesn't matter. You have proven your worth, your purpose, your honor. And just because things change, and just because you came back not being the same, doesn't mean you lost your purpose. It just means you've done a good job. And it's okay to move on now. It's okay to yield. It's okay. It's okay to accept the change. But readjust. Don't give up. And if you feel left behind, if you feel like everyone else moved on, find someone. Find someone who understands. I've seen some footage of places for veterans, for rehabilitation and communities, and sometimes I so wish, it's the one reason I wish I could have gone to the US, even if it's just to go and sit there and listen. I just want to go sit there and listen to them talk. I want to go listen to you talk, tell your stories, share the love you have for life, for certain things that you've had, for certain memories you have, the good and the bad. I just want to be there and give you someone to talk to. And I don't know about other countries, guys. I've said this before, so feel free to blast me with comments if you are involved at maybe an organization that takes care of the veterans. If you maybe have, the thing, I so wish I could have trained Odin to become a therapy animal. I would have taken him. Again, if we had places like that, I would have taken him so that he can go and, be company and companion to make others smile. So let me know if you have therapy animals that you maybe take to these organizations, or if you are an ex-veteran and you decided to give back, or if you lost something, but you managed to carry on, or maybe you didn't manage to carry on in the same state or the same society or the same community. Maybe you had to make changes, maybe you had to readjust, take your compass and walk into a different direction. Maybe you had to go back to your survival mode all over again. But if you want to share your story, this is the place. I will listen. This is the one. You guys know I didn't reply on YouTube comments. There's a lot of hate, which I don't like hate, so I can't deal with it. I communicate with my members in Patreon. That's where we talk. That's where we connect. But I think this is the one place, this is the one song I want to hear what you guys say. I want to know what you're thinking. I want to know what you're feeling. So I'm going to come read and I'm going to come and respond to your comments. Okay, so share as much of your experiences, knowledge, memories, campaigns, charities, I don't know, anything and everything. I want to know it. I want to hear about it. And I want to tell you all, for whatever it's worth, thank you for your service. And you will never not have a purpose. When you have fulfilled your purpose, you have done a good job. And we are grateful, even though we don't always show it. And I thank you. It's time for you to rest. It's time for you to stop fighting. It's time for you to forget about survival mode and just live. Stop and smell the flowers. Smell the roses. Get yourself a pet companion. Smile, sit in the sun. Have a little garden for yourself if you can. Start reading books. Maybe start a vegetable garden or a herb garden. Learn to cook. Do things you never thought you would do. Start painting. Because it's not the end. It's not the end unless you want it to be the end. And someone will help. We have to help, guys. We have to do our part. We need to find a way. I'm going to find a way. Keep on trying, keep on living, keep breathing. Eventually trauma heals. Eventually.
We at the Braveheart. With bright Vikings we stand side by side, with axes raised high, bound by blood and honor. We believe in the old ways,